Alright guys, back in another video, and this time we're going to be doing something a little different, and it's going to be using our screen recording function on our phone to record deck profiles and stuff like that. And if you appreciate this type of videos or just videos from me in general, please smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'm sorry for my absence. I've been so busy with new job, and at one point I wasn't even allowed to touch my phone or anything during work hours, and then I had the babies to take care of. Yes, and I have twins, so then I have 2 dogs and a new home, stuff like that. So, but back here, I'm gonna start doing more content for you guys, and I'm sorry for the absence as well. But you know, I've had to put my priorities aside, and yeah. So, Cooler, if you don't know what he already does, he's a leader from set 9. When he attacks a leader card, draw a card. When the power of one of your opponent's battle cards is decreased, you get to mill them 1. And this works every time you minus it anything. So if you minus 2 at one time, you get mill 2. It's an alternate win con in my opinion, especially with the way the format is and the way this deck plays in general. And it also just disrupts the amount of cards they would normally draw. And say if I mill a secret rare or something like that, that really helps you turn the tides in games. And then if it's your opponent's turn, you get to draw a card. On the backside, it does the exact same thing, and you're gonna tap 1 and draw 1 whenever you awaken at 4 less life. And then he does the same thing, but it works on both turns to mill them and draw. You can already mill them on both sides regardless, but you get a draw on both sides. On the back side on both turns. So, very good leader, and he's red, so that's something to note as well. So, the main issue of this deck now is going to be mid-range outpacing your opponent with these new Unisons. Now, I'm not sure on the ratios yet, but Gotenks is mainly there for the decks that don't attack you and you really want to awaken, because your leader is busted on the backside, especially when you awaken on your own terms. This also boosts your leader and helps you pressure life. So this is just a good card, and just the ability to be able to finish games with the Unison going in for that, and you get to disrupt the hand with both of these Unisons, and yeah, and clear board with the Shinron, and basically both of them look at your opponent's hand for the minus effects. So it's very good cards. So be ready to see these kind of cards being played in other red decks as well. To the next part, staples. This is the 1-drops. We have Sensubin, best card, so you're not got to play 4 of those. Just really there for restanding that energy and allowing you to be able to play defense and or pressure the opponent. So sometimes you do end up finishing the game with Sensubin. Burly Crown of Retribution, another form of looking at your opponent's hand. So you have a total of 9 cards that look at your opponent's hand. It's a very good card. You could play a third one if you really want on the side. It's a good card, but a lot of times the counterplays are not as relevant, but it does get a chance to look at your opponent's hand. So if your opponent does tap their energy, or not tap their energy, and you're going to get a plus because you get to see what's in their hand. Yep. So for Death's Embrace, this Frieza card is a cantrip that allows you to continuously minus things by 10,000 for every red energy you pay out of a battle. So it works on both players' turns, and then you get the trigger and mill them 1 if you actually are minusing the battle card itself. So, good card. I need to pick up 2 more copies myself. Wolfang Fist. This is a free counterattack, and you get the minus 15 something if you have a Unison. That's like it's free counterattack if you have a Unison with 2 markers or more, and you get to minus something by 15. So, it may kill something and protect your Unison. So, it's very important to keep this in mind whenever you're going to the next set. These counterattacks are very good, especially Wolfang Fist in this deck. You get the additional mill 1 just for fun. Then you got Beerus, the super combo. Restand that blue-red energy and then allow you to play Cooler in your opponent's turn or Majin Buu very easily. Your 4-check land, Mecha Frieza. Combo attack Cooler to bounce back your Coolers and or your Death's Embrace and allow you to combo with those red-blue energies from your drop area when he attacks. 25k for 1 energy and recycle your Coolers that they already attacked and stuff like that. It's also works on your opponent's turn to play Cooler twice if you need to kill something on your opponent's turn. Very good. And then you got Yamcha, the Merciless Barrage. And this card is a free counterplay for if you have control of Unison. And you can't use counterplay afterwards, which is not that important. But yeah, he's really good and allows you to play defense whenever you play those Unisons for 2 or 3 energy on your opponent's turn. So you got the free counterattack and then that. So you really, after you stick your Unison, if you continue to stick them, it's really hard for them to get rid of them. And remember, if you play a Unison while you already have a Unison, you're going to get rid of your other Unison. So something to note. But he is there for 15k body that minuses something 15k. And, 2 things 15k. So he's like Kaioken, but way better. As I stated earlier, Hercule and Majin Buu. 4 of This is a really good card. You want to have that red blue energy, so we do have quite a few copies of red blue energy. I think there's a total of 16, and yeah, there's a total of 16. So you really need to open up with one of those because your super combo relies on it being in your energy to restand, and then you have the ability for this to bounce back your counterplay or anything basically at the end of your opponent's turn. So you can bounce back your coolers as well. So that's something fun to note. So this card's really good on your turn or your opponent's turn at recycling your resources, and allows you to draw cards and draw an extra card and mill them. So very good card. Topo Regizade, there's 2 copies in here. I'm not even sure if I really want to main it based off the way the deck is built, but it's just there as a extra turn kind of card that's there if you need it. I know Topo's a good card, but it's not that great in Cooler because you really want those attacks to go through so that you can land Cooler on their turn and or Majin Buu to trigger and draw you cards. You don't really like the -1. So Topo may go on the side, but in this rough draft he's here. 3 Exploding Weakness. This card was really good before, and it's going to remain good at clearing those boards, especially against Vegex. Cooler Tyrannical Assault. This is obviously the main win con. It minuses 2 things by 10k ignoring barrier. So along with your counterattack and your counterplay, you should be able to clear off most battle cards, no matter what they are, especially with the ignoring barrier on Cooler and the counterattack from Wolfang Fist. Then your Secret Rare. This card is not very necessary, as well as Exploiting Weakness in the upcoming format and Topo. So funny enough, the most expensive cards in the deck really aren't that necessary, so you can build this deck pretty budgetly. Even Broly, Crown of Retribution, you could be replaced with something. So if you want to try this deck out and you don't really have the means to do so funds-wise, you can always take in something else. Like maybe the swap engine with Clan Commander and the 1-drop swap. And then you can also take in maybe 1 or 2 copies of, or if you don't have Majin Buus, you could take in some copies of that new Frieza Blu-ray card from the next set, from set 10. If you want to look at the final form, this is what it looks like from a screenshot form. As I said before, I'm not sure if the Unisons are extremely necessary, but this way of playing the deck is very, very resilient against the other Unison decks, especially being able to pressure the hand. And yeah, basically you side deck the anti-hand destruction in the form of Great Ape, Son Goku, and Saiyan Insects, and then you play Whis Coercion in the side mainly to handle those Gohan decks, and then you can also play some dual attackers in the side that will help you against Hatchak and stuff like that. So there's lots of ways that you can side in to handle the meta and then just try to stay on par with what other decks are trying to do. I'm not even sure if you really need 4 Death's Embrace, so if you don't have 4, you probably don't really need exactly 4, but it's a really good card. But I thank you guys for watching my videos again. It's been a while since I posted, and we'll see you guys in the next video.